Good afternoon. Welcome to RobMotive Live Friday. We're going to talk about some tips and tricks, some things that I've come across or learned about the new Toyota Tacoma. Some things that will make your life a little bit easier, maybe, depending on whether you choose to do these things or not. First, a little bit of housekeeping. Got to have a little bit of sip of the green nectar. Not sponsored, by the way. I love the conspiracy theories out there. You know, whenever you show anything on the channel, well, I can't set that there. People start talking about you being sponsored, and that's the only reason you're showing products and stuff like that. Not necessarily true. I mean, you know, sometimes I show stuff because I like it, right? So I'm waiting for the live stream to populate on YouTube. It seems to take a couple minutes. I don't know. Maybe they do a little bit of a check to make sure that what you're doing is appropriate. I'm not sure. So I don't even know if anybody's out there yet because I can't see the live stream. There we go. I am on and I am talking, and it appears that folks can see me on here, except I can't see myself on my own channel. Let's try this again. I think I'm going to get there. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm there. We've got a few people on here. Let's see. Doug Ames says hi, Rob. Hey, Doug. Leroy Cunnett. Hello, howdy. Doug Ames says hi and wave. That's cool. Bob England says morning. Good morning, Bob. How you doing? Let me do the usual. Let me share the live stream. We're going to share it to, let's see, we're going to share it to the old Facebook, because we got to do that, you know, you have to share it to Facebook. We'll say live now. How's that? And let's post that. All right, now we have to share it to another place. Let's see, let's share it to the group. If you didn't know, I have a group. Man, it's hot here. I have a group. It's called Fourth Generation Toyota Tacoma Owners Group. Pretty original, isn't it? Over on Facebook, it's growing like mad. Lots of people joining over there, checking out other people's trucks and tips and knowledge. And it's a great group, let me tell you. If you're at all interested in the Toyota Tacoma, or if you have one yourself, the fourth gen, it's not really for previous generations. There are plenty of groups out there for those folks. So we limit it to fourth generation Tacomas. So it's not that we kick people out for third gens. We just don't really allow a lot of third gen posting. Because that's not what we're about over there. So I think it's only fair, you know. I mean, some of the third gen people don't like us. I don't know why. I like us. All right, I've shared, I think everywhere I can share. Let's share it to the old, well, let's share it to TikTok too. Why not? So let me find a picture that's appropriate to put up. Not that I have inappropriate pictures on my phone. I don't. But I'm saying appropriate to what the live stream is about, right? So let's do that. Let's go next. Sorry for the delay, but you know, you gotta take care of the house first, right? I'm almost done. We'll type in a title of some sort. Gotta post the link. There's the link. Alright, it's got to propagate. That takes care of that. Now we have one more we got to go to. Let's go to formerly known as Twitter, I guess. Might as well post over there too, right? Let's get that done. This is the last one, I promise. Okay, we're live everywhere I can possibly think to be. Hopefully those folks are interested in seeing. All right, let's catch up. TCS or TC Stroller, I guess. Hi, I'm from Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. How you doing? Good to have you here. Our neighbors up north. Let's see, Donald D. Hit that like button. That's right. And you see that little heart down to your right, maybe on your screen? If you tap that, a bunch of options come up, and you can throw a bunch of things across the screen. You see those hearts and smiley faces and I don't know what the heck's going on, the 100. That was me popping all that stuff across there. Just a little interaction on the screen. Kind of helps out the live stream, if you will. Let's see. I keep swiping on this screen to update comments, and when I do that, for some reason, I think YouTube changed the way they do things. It goes to another live stream, somebody else's. Anyway, what we've got here is the 4th generation Toyota Tacoma. It is freaking awesome. Love this truck. A lot of people ask me, gee Rob, why did you change? This is your what, 8th Toyota Tacoma of the 4th gen? Well, first of all, that's not true. It would be my 3rd, which is excessive, I know. It's only been out since 2024, right? But what I started out with was a 2024 TRD Sport, and I had it lifted, and it made the truck, it didn't feel as good, let's be honest. And also, I wanted to try something different, so I went with a 2025 TRD Off-Road, and I now know that is not the truck for me, right? Why? Because it's squishier. It doesn't have quite as much power, at least it doesn't feel that way, as the Sport does. Of course, it doesn't have the hood scoop, which I really dig. I like the hood scoop. So there's a few things that I just didn't like a whole lot about the truck. Not that there's anything wrong with the truck. There's really nothing wrong with the truck. I think I need to point you guys up a little higher. You know, you got to get everything adjusted too while you're doing this. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with the truck. I mean, I like the truck. It was just fine. But I wanted a crisper driving experience, which I get out of the Sport, and I wanted the most power I could get. And there seemed to be a throttle lag with the 2025 off-road, just a little bit, nothing extreme, and certainly much better than what we had with the 3rd gen. I mean, if you have a 3rd gen, you know throttle lag is a problem, right? That's why we put things on like the pedal commander, to get rid of that throttle lag. I would say on the Sport version, you don't really need it. I mean, if you want to, fine tune it a little bit, get every last drop out of it that you can, well then sure. And we all want to do that anyway, right? But it's pretty damn quick the way that it is. I mean, the response time is good. It is awesome. I really dig it. I did make some changes. We're going to get to the tips and tricks here in a minute, by the way, the title of the live stream. I did do a few things so far, of course. I changed out the wheels and tires. I went with a 275/70/18. Somebody just asked me before I came on the live stream, did you stay with 18-inch tires? And the answer is yes. Mr. Palad, you need a haircut. I know, it's getting kind of long, isn't it? Look at that. What the heck? I like short hair. It's pushing 90 degrees, maybe higher right now here. And it's definitely cooler to have short hair. I'm hoping it all just goes away, quite honestly. I'm not one of these guys that is hung up on hair. So I hope it just falls out, goes away. I know a lot of people out there are saying, what? I pay good money to use Rogaine and have rugs on my head, comb over. I don't care, man. I don't care. But anyway, the cutoff shirts, you got to have that. Not because of the guns, but because, that's what a buddy of mine always says. But because it's cooler. That's why I wear these, because they're cooler. And these particular shirts have a bunch of holes in them. I mean, it came that way. It's like it's not mesh, but it reminds me sort of that. Just because it's cooler down here when you're out doing stuff. So that's why I am how I am. But you're right, it is getting a little bit long. So I changed out the wheels and tires, stayed with 18-inch. Not for for really any big reason other than Toyota, of course, is having some sort of an issue. Get a chair to put my leg up on just to be a little more comfy. But Toyota is having an issue, of course, with the brake lines. They have released the fix for that, so if you have one that has a problem, you might be able to take it in and get it fixed now. They're doing it in phases, the recall. So definitely make sure you call before you make a trip to the dealer or show up at the door demanding they fix your truck right now. Probably not going to happen. They're doing it in phases, and they would have to because it's a large number. As far as the fix itself, it's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to reroute the brake line to get it out of the wheel cavity, if you will, because that's the problem. Things get stuck inside the wheel spins, it hits the brake line, and the brake line ruptures, tears, breaks, whatever. But that's not what they're doing. They do seem to have shortened it a little bit from what I've seen, the brake line, but they made it more robust. They're putting in a more heavy-duty line, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, frankly, because, I mean, it's a brake line. If you get anything stuck in the wheel that's spinning and it impacts the brake line, how heavy-duty is it? I mean, is it made out of, like, titanium now? I doubt that. So it's still going to be a problem. I don't think it's a fix. I think it's a Band-Aid. And I think Toyota will probably just continue fixing any after that if you have a problem, you know, like if you actually break the brake line. So I don't really think it's a permanent fix myself. I think they'll make changes on the new ones, but I don't know if it really makes that much of a difference to protect the truck. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, left the wheels and tires. I did go left. That's pretty cool. I like that. I think it's pretty neat that way. So let's see. I just got a call. I have to send a message to. All right, there we go. Hate to miss those calls, but I'm talking to you guys right now, live streaming. So anyway, white letters out. That's the way it used to be back in the day. I remember back in the 80s, yeah, I'll date myself. Back in the 80s, that was a thing, man. If you had the white letters out, that was cool. And then it went away. I think it just became dated. It's like everything. Everything is cyclical, right? So now I've got white letters out, and I gotta say, it looks freaking awesome on this truck. So we shall see. Let's get to a couple other things. I did put rock sliders on the truck. I did not want steps. I'm not a fan of steps. I do like the rock sliders because they hug the truck more. Obviously, they're functional. I mean, if you're out somewhere driving around and you're running up against stuff, they're going to protect the side of the truck, so that's cool. They are not steps. I've had people ask me about that. Can you use the rock sliders as steps, the ones that I have? And the answer is no, you can't. They're really not. I mean, you could step on them, but you're probably going to scrape your foot against the paint and you're going to damage the truck. So not really for that. They are functional. They're 52 pounds a piece. They are OEM. So they're the rock rails that you would get from Toyota themselves. And easy bolt-on install, something I really like about buying OEM parts. They always fit. Although there is one thing, the front bracket, it kind of sits flat and goes up against the bottom of the front part of the frame. There are 3 holes in that bracket. There are only 2 threaded holes in the truck. So unless you put an insert or something, I don't know, in that 3rd hole, which is there, it's just not threaded, the hole in the truck. You only have 2 bolts. It's not a big deal, it's not a problem, but nonetheless, there are only 3 bolts there that you can actually use that function. So it's not your truck. If you happen to get these, I know a lot of people think, well, something's wrong with my truck, right? It's not your truck, it's the way Toyota designed it. I'm a little sit there. Good stuff. we do have another mod coming. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's sitting, here, I'll turn you a little bit. It's sitting right there. Any guesses as to what that is? If you watch my Facebook channel, then you probably know, or Facebook group, you probably know what that is. But any guesses as to what's in that box? It's a pretty major mod, in my opinion, for the truck. Definitely makes a lot of difference in appearance. It's not really, I wouldn't say it's functional. Yeah, it can be functional. A component of it is functional. Let's see. Where am I? Donald D. I have Mickey Thompson. That's what I was trying to think of while I was talking about raised white letters. Mickey Thompsons. Mickeys used to be the ones, man. You had a, really any car, you put Mickeys on it with the white letters out. I have Mickey Thompson's raised white letters, but they're facing inside. Not sure about flipping them. Hey, it's the thing now, man. They are back. I'm telling you. I'm seeing it more and more often in the Facebook group and out in the wild. It's back. DB, hey Rob, what's your average miles per gallon? Do you think the Tacoma is worth it for the price point? It seems expensive. Let's talk about the last part first. It is expensive. Tacomas have never been particularly cheap. There have always been less costly options out there. Do I think it's worth it? Worth is determined by the person writing the check, I guess. Obviously, I think it's worth it because I have one sitting in my garage. Well, halfway out of my garage. Yeah, I think it's worth it. The improvements as compared to the third gen, you know, I was about at my wit's end with the third gen, honestly. It felt dated to me. I had to have pedal commander in it to get the power out of it that I wanted. People complained, I didn't have the issue, but people complained about the transmission and gear hunting and all that good stuff. This doesn't have any of that. This truck is awesome. It's got the latest and greatest tech in it, the big 14-inch screen. I mean, yeah, it's worth it to me. Let's talk about miles per gallon. I'm getting, I hate to say it even, 15.9 is my last reading, and that's computer calculated. I don't know if I did it by hand, if it would be better or not, but 15.9 miles per gallon sucks. Let's be honest, it sucks. But that's what I'm getting, that's the truth of it. So, and to be fair, I mean, I added 104 pounds of rock sliders. I added an E-rated tire, so I have a 10-ply heavier tire on the truck. And no, I wouldn't have done that had there been a lower rated, lesser ply tire available for what I wanted. But I could not get this tire in this size and this brand, which is BF Goodrich K03s, lesser than an E-rated tire. So it's the way it is. And in the end, I guess I suffer because my fuel economy is lesser. But whatever, it's a truck, I don't mind, you know. I'd have bought another Prius. I have a Tesla sitting out there. I'm concerned about fuel economy, right? Chad Cronatz, what's up? It's time to grill. Chad, every time I come on here, you're grilling. I envy you. I wish every day I could grill and eat grilled food for lunch. You got it made, brother. I love it. By the way, Chad is a channel member, by the way. That's why you see his name in green. If you want to help support the channel, you can click that membership thing, become a member. There is a cost to it, but it helps support the channel, and I really do appreciate it. Tim Gins, I knew the Mountain Dew was in the video. It's always in the video, man. It's either Mountain Dew or Gold Peak Sweet Tea. Not sponsored by either one. However, I am open. Contact me, people. Reef Keeper, I guess. TRD Pro Grill. You got it. Donald D. Yes, I'm dated. Aren't we all dated? I mean, you know, I always think it's funny how some people like to dog people because of their age, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. Unless you know something I don't, everybody on the planet is aging from the day they are born, right? And the older you get, the luckier you are because you've made it that far. A lot of people don't. It's not a bad thing to age. It might suck physically for the ager. In other words, things hurt and you get stiff and, you know, but the alternative, not better, not better. Universal asks, do you ever put a car on the top level of your lift? Many times. There are a lot of videos on the channel where I've used the lift. Kind of depends on what vehicle I have. I've had a Tundra up there before. When I first moved here, I had my cars shipped and they were being stored, so they all fit. They'd be stored, they were being stored in here, and the Tundra was on the top of the lift. So yes, I have. It just depends on what I'm doing. I haven't really had a need, and I'm kind of using it for storage right now. So Donald D, I'm getting 17.7 to 285/70R17. You're lucky. I wish I was getting 17.7. That would be an improvement over my 15.9. Donald D on my 2023. You're talking about a different model year. That's apples to oranges, man. I can't really speak to the 2023s. I never got that good with my third gen, so, but that's good. I don't know. So let's talk about a couple of tips and tricks before I forget. First of all, one of the things that people do with the new Toyota Tacoma is to remove those damn badges on the back that look like they're sitting crooked, right? Almost everybody takes those off, either to replace them or to go with the clean look of the truck, or on the truck. Excuse me. I too replaced them. This is the third time I've replaced them, and they suck. The way they're set up, they're like a 3-ply, man. They've got an adhesive on the bottom, and they've got a middle layer, and then they've got a top layer. The way you take them off, you pull off the top layer, and then you're left with this seemingly impenetrable layer below that. Horrid. People recommend using rubber eraser wheels. You know, you stick that in your drill and you spin it around at 10 million miles an hour or revs per minute. I don't like that, you see, because when you contact your paint with anything that's spinning, it creates heat, and heat causes problems. They always say, oh, it's no big deal. I did it with mine. You can't even tell when I was done. I used some rubbing compound and some buffer and some wax and some polish, all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't have to do that the way I do it now, because I have found the mecca of remover for those kind of things. Let me show you. It is this. I am not sponsored by these people. I came across it at one of the auto parts stores. It's called Aircraft Decal and Adhesive Remover. And man, does it work. Now, a tip for this, it is strong, let me tell you. Because the way it works is you go ahead and pull that top layer off. I don't know if you have to, but this is my experience. So you pull that top layer off, that's easy, it comes off easy, right? Now you're left with that white lower layer, the one that's horrid. You spray this stuff on it, leave it sit for, I don't know, 30 seconds, something like that. Grab a rag, one that you're going to throw away, that has a little bit of nap in it, right? So it'll grab a little bit. Grab that rag and just push that adhesive layer with the junk on top of it off. It will roll up. Do it again. You're going to need to spray it about, in my experience, about 5 times, because this stuff, after maybe 30 seconds more or a minute, starts to dry a bit, and it's not effective. So you hit it again. Push, and pretty soon you're going to be left with a soupy looking mess. All of the adhesive in the top or middle layer has combined, right? Now, it may look daunting because now you've got this really sticky, soupy mess on your truck. However, what you can do is roll it all together, and you spray. Again, it takes about 5 hits as you're doing this to keep it loosened up, to loosen it up more. Push it all together, and then just put your fingers in the rag, grab it, and pull it off. And believe me, it is so much easier. It takes about, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes per side, and you're done. No ill effects from it. I don't have any scratches or scrapes or burnt marks from a wheel spinning around. People even suggest using those plastic razors or plastic blades. I'm like, are you kidding me? As soon as I read the word blade in the title, that's a no for me. That means it's sharp. I don't care if it's plastic or not. Put enough pressure on it or catch an imperfection in the paint with it, and you're going to have a problem. I don't recommend those either. This stuff is awesome. I'll try to leave a link to it down below if I remember after the live stream. Again, you can also pick it up at a lot of auto parts stores. I was told by the guys working there that this is the stuff that the detail shops use to remove decals and adhesive. This stuff. I can't recommend it enough. It made such a difference. Just awesome. Now, why? Gotta have another sip of the green nectar, man. I get so excited talking about good products, you know. Why take that sticker off to begin with? If it's such a pain in the arse, why even remove it? And that's simple. It's personal preference, you know. I don't like a lot of badging. Some. I mean, I did put my channel name on the side of the truck in the form of a little round badge. I did leave the Tacoma badges on the side this time, just for kicks. They're blacked out. I thought, you know, I always take those off. This time I'm not going to do it. And I didn't. They're still on the truck. But it all comes down to personal preference, right? I mean, if you don't like them, you don't like them. And who cares what anybody else thinks about it? I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. All right, let's get some comments here. I got people kicking in here. Eric Kramer, enjoying my 2023 SR 4-cylinder 2-wheel drive. Last of the 25K new trucks. You got that right. It's good that you're liking it, man. Michael Kokoza, what's up, Rob? Michael says hi. How you doing, Michael? Good to see you here today. RH, the only important thing is that Hector, let's see. Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with this live stream, but I hope you feel better for posting it. I don't know. Let's see. Reef Keeper, do you ceramic coat your trucks or just use regular wax? I use McGuire's Carnauba, the paste kind of wax, not the hard stuff, you know, the squirt kind, the liquid wax. I don't ceramic coat because, frankly, it's another one of those things that I think is kind of a racket, kind of like tunes. I don't know, you pay a lot of money, you put it on or have somebody put it on, it lasts for, I don't know, 6 months, a year, whatever, and then you got to do it again. When you spend, I don't know, anywhere from $500 to $6,000, depending on who does it and where you're located. I think it's crazy. No, I just wax, and I don't do that very often. Michael, what mods are you working on today? Probably going to be working on the Gladiator today, actually. I got some stuff in from billet tie downs. Speaking of billet tie downs, I've got something exciting to talk to you guys about here in just a minute. So I'm going to get to that. And this is one of the best mods I think that I've done so far, and I'll show you guys here in a couple minutes. Cicadas, that's what I'm going with. You know a razor blade and rubbing alcohol works if you say so. I've done it, I've been there, and more power to you, brother. Cicadas, don't need to spend all that money to buy me items. You do what works for you, man. I'm not here to argue my methods. I'm only here to let you guys know what has worked for me. Frankly, I don't care what you use. If it works for you, that's cool. You should use what works for you. Michael McGee, I am very disappointed in my 25 Tacoma. Horrible paint, loaded with orange peel, rattled the hood, rocks and roaches coming in. I haven't experienced any of that stuff. I think either you just don't like the truck, or maybe you got a lemon. I don't know. But I don't have any of that kind of stuff, so I don't know. I can't relate. Let's see. That's why you buy a real truck. Cicadas is a hater. Keyboard warrior. You just stopped in here to dog my methods and the Toyota Tacoma. Well, every comment is a good comment as long as it's not breaking any rules, my own rules. So you keep on dogging the truck. The more comments, the better, brother. Actually pronounce that name correct. Well, I try. You see, I try to pronounce names correctly. Let's see, the next thing, badge removal. I had a question, again, just before I got, or in the Facebook group, which by the way, I'm going to plug it again. It's called 4th Generation Toyota Tacoma Owners Group. It's my group. It's on Facebook. It's growing like wildfire, man. From my research, it is the #1 2025, maybe all across the board, Toyota Tacoma group on Facebook. People seem to like the way that it's handled. People like this C. Cicadas over there would have been removed because he's obviously not here for the right reasons. We don't let people hang around that are there to dog the Tacoma. It's an enthusiast group, not a haters group. There's plenty of those out there. It's not a political group. It's not a religious group. We keep a pretty tight rein on it to make it enjoyable. You know, I've been in a lot of the other groups, and I swear to God, I once posted a picture. All I did was post a picture. I think I said, just bought a new 2023 or whatever, Toyota Tacoma, whatever, and I immediately start getting hate. That's all I said. I didn't say anything else. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, like this guy. Oh, it's a junk truck. Oh, that's not a real truck. I'm like, isn't this a Tacoma enthusiast group? Because the admins don't do anything. They're only concerned about numbers, you see. In other words, they just want the biggest number of members they can get. That's all they focus on. I don't know why. I don't know how you get off on that. You know, oh, I've got 100,000 members. Who cares? They're all trolls and scammers. We keep those people out. Let's see. Universal asks, I hate the Tacoma because I can't afford one. You see, now that is an acceptable reason to not like the Toyota Tacoma. You're being honest. I'm sorry for that. I can't help you. Maybe stop some other habits you have, get another job, spend less money on other frivolous things. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know your situation. But at least you're honest, and that's okay. And there's some humor in that. I like that. I'm going to give myself a few hearts while I'm here. Nobody else is. By the way, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do that. I would appreciate it. So let's talk about the badge. I'm talking about the emblem on the front of the truck. Let's see if you're close enough to see it. I think you are. I had, like I said, a comment this morning in the Facebook group, somebody asking how do you remove that. That it was more difficult than they thought, and probably because they don't know what they're doing. But if you reach around behind here, you can feel right at the bottom here, there is a little hook-like tab thing, right? You want to pull that up gently. We're not trying to break this thing off. And then, right up here, if I can feel it, right on the edges of the T part, if you will, of the Tacoma, there's two more. So you have three, excuse me, three little tab-like things. So you want to gently pull those, and let's see if I can get my finger back there. It is a tight fit, that's for sure. But you want to pull those up and I guess pull the front part of the badge off a little. So you do it like that. I've already got the bottom one separated. And then you want to go to one of the others, again, trying to finagle your hand back there properly. There's the other one. And then we go to the other side. And hopefully it doesn't go, sorry, I'm blocking it. Let's see if I can just pull it out from there. There. You see how easy that is? That is how you remove the badge on the front so that you can paint it. Now notice, mine is black, right? The back of it is chrome, and that's because this is an overlay. I think you can get these on Amazon, I'm not sure. Certainly Toyota probably sells them. But this is an overlay. The badge itself is chrome. These are the three prongs I'm talking about. There's a locator prong here. That just pushes in. No pressure on it. It just locates the badge. And that's it. So you're pushing up on these, right? You're pushing up on the bottom one and you're pushing down on the side ones. That's it. Now, the reason you take this off, why even take it off? Because you're left with that, right? Well, the reason is to customize it. A lot of people, including myself, rough these up a little bit and then paint them. Um, if you're going to do that and you have one that has the black overlay, I recommend not taking the overlay off. It really doesn't want to come off. You just kind of scratch that up a little bit with some Scotch-Brite. I used, what is it, red, purple, whatever it is. Scratch it up a little bit to give the, not much, light micro scratches. You do that to give the paint a little bit more surface to adhere to, if you will. And then push it back in, and that's easy. You don't have to do anything. Now, if you happen to be overly aggressive and you break these tabs, just put a couple pieces of double-sided tape around on here, wherever you need to. That's all you need to hold this on. There's no weight to it. It's very light, and it's not going to come flying off. You have to worry about it. When you're done, after it dries, you go ahead and just simply pop it back in. It's really pretty simple. Push, 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 and that's it. That's all you have to do. How much easier can that be? I don't know why the person left me a comment that it was so difficult. They just didn't know where the tabs were. I'm not sure. Let's see. Where was I? Dave Fisher. My street had the lanes, the stripes repainted, and I got some yellow paint splatter on my Tacoma's lower door panel. You guys got any suggestions on how to remove it? First I tried glue gone. It's not quite as strong. If that doesn't work, acetone, maybe rubbing alcohol, and you might even try this decal and adhesive remover. It's pretty stout. Very last option is brake cleaner. Brake cleaner will take the skin off your hand, I think. But it's not, if you use it sparingly and quickly, it's not strong enough that it's going to hurt your paint, I don't think. But that stuff will take anything off. Bug and tar remover will probably work. I mean, there's a lot of products out there. Michael, I am doing mine now. I painted mine the last 2 days, 4 coats. There you go. By the way, let me give you my painting method, which works very, very well for me. Very simple. You want to scratch the paint a little bit with Scotch-Brite. Little micro scratches, nothing major. Wipe it off with rubbing alcohol. And then you want to coat it with 3 coats of primer. I always use a high temperature primer. I don't think it's necessary, but I do. 3 coats of primer. And the way you want to do that is you want to lightly spray it, let it dry for 6 minutes. Lightly spray it, let it dry for 6 minutes, and then do it one more time, let it dry for an hour. After that hour, you want to go ahead using the same method, put your color on, whatever it's going to be. So spray it lightly, let it dry for 6 to 8 minutes. I go 6 normally, and then do 2 more coats. Let it dry for an hour. Now you want to go ahead and do the clear coat, same thing, light spray, 6 minutes. Light spray 6 minutes, light spray 6 minutes. Let it dry for at least 5 days inside the house if possible. After all of the fumes go away, because it's going to be pretty strong from all that product. I've never had any issues doing it that way. I think if you go more, it's overkill. You don't need to do it. Plus you start to get into a situation where the paint's too thick and it's going to take forever to dry. If it ever dries all the way down to the bottom anyway, because you've got so many layers built up, right? Light layers, 6 minutes in between, 3 coats. That's how I do it, and it always has worked pretty well. Let me show you what I did yesterday, and then we're going to get to the third and the biggest little trick, I guess, that I've got. Let me show you something. I painted the letters that are going to go in the new grill for the Tacoma. And they came out really well, and I used the methods that I told you guys about. These are it right here. Check this out. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. They are with some paint that I had made from a company called R&L or R&C. I can't remember. Equipment or something like that. But anyway, check that out, man. These are painted. And there is a little speck there I see now. I didn't look at it through a camera before. But that doesn't matter. Look at that. Look at the finish on those. I mean, it came out really, really well. I am very, very happy with it. I'll let them dry in there. Actually, I'll probably end up taking them in the house. My wife will love that. She never likes when I set parts in the house, but you know, that's the way it goes, man. Let me plug you guys back in. My phone is not very well charged for some reason. Get you guys back on there. We're going to get to this biggest thing that I've done recently, and it is ownership changing. It's amazing. Let me have a seat here. Let's answer some more comments. Let's see. Michael, I'm curious. Have you done the clear on these yet? Are you going to do a clear coat? I mean, on the emblem? Universal asks, how did you end up in Deep South Texas? You don't seem like a typical Texan. First of all, and I mean this in the most sincere way, what is a typical Texan? I hope I'm not setting myself up for a bad thing, but what is a typical Texan? And then I'll answer your question. Michael, I just cleaned mine up with rubbing alcohol. You do what works for you. I mean, that's why I use the method I use, and I got that from somebody else who supposedly is an expert in painting. That's why I go with this method. I found this on the web, and he was I don't know if he was some kind of an engineer, painting engineer or something, but I use his method. Yeah, it's worked well for me. Michael did his with plastic dip. Now, I can't speak to plastic dip. I've never used it, so that is a different animal. Let's see. Ramadani Mata. Sorry if I got it wrong. Says hi. Hello, how are you? Eric Gann. I'm going with Eric Gann. I apologize if I'm wrong. Love the channel, Rob, on the Facebook group too. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And if you guys aren't familiar, I do have a Facebook group. It's called 4th Generation Toyota Tacoma Owners Group. Check it out. It's awesome. I think it's great. By the way, if you have not subscribed here, please click that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Universal S says barbecuing all day long, Texas accent, cowboy boots, hat, shirt, etc. Well, yeah, I don't barbecue all day long. I don't have an accent, at least not a southern accent, I guess. Let's see. Cowboy boots, hat, shirt, etc. Yeah, my shirts are for comfort. I don't wear boots because they're not comfortable. I'm from Ohio originally. I was born in Ohio, lived in Ohio and Michigan most of my life, mostly in Ohio. Central Ohio, go Bucks. Moved down here because I decided to pursue, at the time, primarily YouTube as my job, which it still is today. I'm a full-time YouTuber. Really branched out into other things too, social media related. I mean, I have this group now that's, honestly, the group is going to surpass my channel, I think, within maybe this year, early next year at the longest. If it keeps growing the way it's growing, it's going to surpass the channel before the end of the year. And other presences, you know, the Instagrams and Twitters and TikTok and everything else. But left there, the cost of living here is a lot less. The weather is a lot more conducive to somebody who does things outside like I do. I mean, in the winter in Ohio, standing outside when it's minus 10 degrees outside and trying to do mods and work with your hands and plastics and stuff, not good. I did it. I don't know. That's about it. Like it down here. Love it down here, actually. The people down here are awesome, much friendlier than where I came from, that's for sure. So that's it in a nutshell, I guess. Everyday Tacoma, Rob, you need to turn on your remote mic. 2025 Black Sport Premium, the taco truck. It's funny you mentioned that. I was gonna be mic'd up for this live stream, but my phone was low on juice. You know what? I should go get it. I think we're up to 43% now. Let me grab the mics real quick. I'm going to turn them on, and I'm going to see if you guys notice a difference. If it's better, I would think it would be. Ivan says, hi from Florida. Hi, Ivan. My grandfather's name was Ivan. Eric D, hey Rob, happy Friday to you as well. Dev, are you concerned with the not so reliable drivetrain on the new Tacoma versus the older model? You are drinking the Kool-Aid. There are a lot of people out there that say a lot of things that aren't true, and that's one of them. There were a handful of issues early on, primarily by people who were trying to break the truck. I find I can break anything I want if I set my mind to it, right? And they did. Were they warranted? Were they not? I don't know. But I haven't had any issues, and I have not seen any mass problems with the Tacoma's drivetrain. So stop drinking the Kool-Aid. That is not true, man. All right, let me go. I'll be back in just a minute. Let me go grab my mics, plug them into the camera or the phone that I'm using. You guys are actually on an iPhone similar to this one. And we'll see. I do think the mics are going to be better. Now, what you don't want to miss is what I'm going to show you next, because it is a profound improvement with the truck, and I think a company that I work with now is going to start producing these in some form, and you guys will be able to, well, you can do it yourself if you want, but be much easier to just buy them. But that's up to you. I have a video coming. I may have already posted it, I don't know, showing how to do this, and it certainly is something you can do. But let's see, Dev says time will tell. Oh, of course, like anything. But you got all these people dogging the truck, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just fear-mongering, man. I can't pronounce your name. I'm going to call you CI or CL. I can never tell the difference. Maybe Kaib Chu Sai. I tried. I got a 25 Tacoma TRD Sport. This premium package looking great too. Awesome. Congratulations. Let's see. Time will tell, and something was deleted. All right. Good time to take a break. I'll be back in just a few minutes. I gotta go get the mic, get the cables, all that junk. So it's a good time for you to grab a cold pop, maybe a Mountain Dew, a sweet tea, maybe something else. I mean, it's Friday, right? I'll be back in just a minute. Stay tuned. Speaking of grabbing a drink, almost ready. We're going to see if this works. test, test, test. Okay, got all my stuff together, had to go find the mics. This is what I'm using, it's a Rhodes mic, or Rode mic. Let me plug it in. Got to disconnect the power, the charger, and let's plug in the mic. Okay, I've got the mic plugged in. Now, you guys need to tell me if it makes any difference. I'm looking at the mic, it's picking up the signal. I'm looking at you guys. I'm going to walk out to the back of the truck. I'm going to keep talking. Tell me if this makes a difference. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me as I'm walking around on the mic, or is it still on the iPhone volume? I'm all the way across the garage. You guys can see me now. I'm outside. Is it working? Please leave a comment down below. Let me know. Did that work? Is it better? Okay, let me check the comments here. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the comments to the beginning. Let's see. Reef Keeper, to be honest, every truck made today is getting dogged out by someone. Yeah, that's the way. People like to complain about everything, right? I have a 2024 with 35,000 miles on it, and it's perfect. There's a real world. I know it's only one. Report. CI says, my Tacoma TRD Sport is windshield pearl, nice. The best color and hard to find too. I'm just putting on a skid plate. Awesome. It's a great color. Windshield pearl is pretty sharp. Eric B says, it's funny to me how all the folks that have never even driven a 4th gen talk about so much smack about it. Hashtag keyboard warriors. I know, it's a bunch of BS. Eric B says, I hear you, but how well? Do you hear me better, or are you still just hearing me through the iPhone mic? Let's see, Mitch says, I reduced the hood vibration on my 24 about 80% with some weather stripping I got off of Amazon. Mitch, are you the person that posted that fix in the group? Looked pretty slick to me. And nobody's answering me. Let's see. Jonathan Redkey, audio is about the same, I think. Well, that's not what I want to hear. So you're not hearing me any better on this mic than what I was before. I'm honestly wondering if anyone has more than 35,000 on a, some do. I've seen some people report they have. Mitch says, not me. It sounds the same, not as good as it was. Oh, man. Well, that's a fail. Let me disconnect the mic then. Obviously, I need to work on that a little bit more. I know it's not great. So now I've disconnected the mic. You guys are now back to just iPhone. I really need to, I guess, play with this a little more. I don't know why it's not working properly. It should, but let me turn this thing off. I'm going to do that. That's going to be one of my tasks for the day, to figure out how to get these things to work properly. Anyway, let's get on to the most profound mod I think that I've done or come across. Check the comments first, see if there's anything else on here. Let's see. CI says, which LED tailgate better for the, which LED eye tail? I don't know what you're asking there. Donald D says it's worse. Great. Brand 700. I got my new 25 Tacoma TRD Pro for about a month now. I love it. Much better than my 2020 for sure. Absolutely. So, what is this final mod or improvement that I'm talking about? It is, or they are, the bed cap spacers. Anybody who's put, I don't even know if you have to. One of the big problems, one of the annoying problems with the new Tacoma is the, or are the bed caps. They lift up on the sides. Particularly if you put in a tonneau that puts down force on the inside lip or edge, which are most of the bed caps for the Tacoma, it pushes them down so that they do, let's see, they do this. And on the outside edge, they lift up, and I've seen it as bad as about a half an inch. It's an eyesore, and it's certainly nothing that you want to see on your brand new truck, right? I think it's a design flaw with Toyota, because all they do to secure that rail at the front part or right behind the cab is a couple of pieces of double-sided tape and a pin. It's like a locator pin. It's more than that, but that pushes down in, and that's it. So if you put any pressure on that cap, it comes up. It sucks. Well, I got to looking at it and I thought, you know, let's do something mechanical to fix it, right? So I cut out some, I'll show you. I cut out some spacers. Now, on this one I use channel. It's a U channel. Not exactly what I would have wanted, but they didn't have solid bar. I would use solid bar stock. But I cut out little pieces to slide behind the front lip, or the lip that's inside the bed, of that rail, and then it sits on the bed rails, under the cap. And then it sits on the bed rails. That way, when you push down on the edge of it, which is what you're doing when you put a tonneau cover in, or just normal wear, even without a tonneau, it supports that edge so it can't push down, and it can't then raise the other side, right? And man, it works freaking awesome. I have not put a tonneau on it yet, but I'm going to, and that will be the final test. But I can't see that there would be any issue with it. So if you take a look, you can see across the bed, I think, if it's not too bright, let's see. Across the bed, you can see those silver squares, if you will, inside the bed area. And the way it works, you can see them over here and over here at the edge as well. When the cap is pushed inward because of a tonneau, it does not allow the cap to push in. I mean, look at that. I'm putting decent pressure on that. It is not lifting a half an inch or more over here on the side, right? I don't know if you need, I put in, looks like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know if you need that many, really. Probably two or three in the front, and then maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more down the edge. I don't know. I haven't perfected that. But it's enough to keep those bed rails stabilized so that they don't allow the cap to come up. And man, it works. It's freaking awesome. I love it. It is probably one of the most, you can see the 4 over there, right? And had I, painted them black or something, you wouldn't be able to see them at all. But honestly, I didn't really care because I'm going to put a tonneau on here. So who cares if you can see them or not? You'll never see them once the tonneau is on there. But I do deal with a company right now, and they're looking, I think, we'll see, it's early. They're looking at producing these for sale. Which would be cool, because that means you'd be able to get these things in the right size, finished, and it would be a solid piece, I assume, as opposed to a U-channel. Not ideal, but as opposed to a U-channel, they're aluminum, so they're light. They're not going to add any weight or anything, of course, and you should be able to do the job with these. It's just freaking awesome. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they'll be out rather soon. Of course, if they are, or when they are, I will let you know. Let's see. Let me go back here. Let's see. Jonathan says, thank you for providing a channel for all of us 4th Gen owners. Greatly appreciated. Hey, I share my experiences with you guys, and I get to talk to you guys like this, so it's good for me too. Jonathan says, yes, good on sound. Well, I took the mics off, so now we're just back to iPhone sound. Did you paint the spacers? Yeah, never mind. You are showing them now. LOL, my OCD would have me painting them. I should have painted them. There's no reason not to paint them. And I know what you mean. Reef Keeper says, even though you can't see them, LOL. I know. This is like, consider these the prototype, right? Brand 700, did you make a video on that modification rod? I'm about to put a tonneau cover on mine also. Westcott rock crawlers on the way. I do have a video coming. I don't know if it's on the channel yet. You'd have to check the channel to see if it's there. It's out there. I just don't know if it's released yet. Yeah, it has. I know it has. It has released because that's how the company that I'm dealing with saw what I had done. And they contacted me about it, which is cool. So yeah, Reef Keeper says I saw that video yesterday. Yeah, it is out there. So if you just go to the channel, maybe it's yesterday's, it's within the last few days, if not yesterday's video. Dustin P. Hey Rob, thanks for the videos and great content. We appreciate you. Dustin, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Always welcome kind words and things. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Just hit that subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Check out the Facebook group. It's 4th Generation Toyota Tacoma Owners Group. It's free, open to the public. Doesn't cost you anything. Lots of good people over there, as I mentioned. Brand 700 says, thanks guys. Anyway, that's it. I've been on here for an hour. Throat's starting to get a little scratchy. I gotta go see if I can solve my microphone problem once again. And hopefully the next time I do a live stream, the audio will be better. That's my hope. We shall see. Anyway, have a great weekend. Appreciate all you guys out there and gals, and we'll see you next time on the web. Bye.